Protection for the world's poorest. Meanwhile, the World Bank President David Malpass is calling on commercial creditors to support debt relief for the poorest countries. He's urging them to not take a free ride on a suspension in debt payments. Malpass says that the G20's debt relief initiative is already a huge achievement, but says that the support does not stop there. Joining us right now is the World Bank President himself, David Malpass. And David, it's great to see you again this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Hi, good to see you, Maria. Lots going on.
Well, we know that this coronavirus has certainly put pressure on so many of us across the world. The move in oil prices this morning indicates the way demand has come to a screeching halt, with oil prices down 27% just this morning. David, tell us how you can assess where we are on the global economy today.
I'm afraid there's a deep recession. That's pretty clear. It hits the poorest countries the most, so that's one of the things I've been working on. But as we think of what would be the best for the developing countries, the poorer countries, it would be a short time to recovery, trying to shorten the time to recovery for the advanced economies. And so that's a critical step, getting people back to work, because what's happening right now, 50 million people will fall into extreme poverty, which means the real thing where there's higher infant mortality, where there's stunting of growth rates for children, and that's happening right now because of the slower growth in the advanced countries. So I think it's urgent that we find a way to shorten the time to get going.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, because going into this crisis, we were actually seeing income inequality narrow in the United States. I mean, you're talking about the world's poorest across the world, and you're putting those people on alert, saying that the global coronavirus recession will hit them the hardest. So do you fear that they could actually move backwards in this environment? This will put people back so much ground that they've actually made up in the last couple of years, right?
That's exactly right. So what we're trying to do, there's definitely a backsliding in terms of poverty, also in terms of median income. One of the goals of the World Bank is to help people raise their median income, and that was happening. That was happening slowly, but it was happening, and I think it will backslide. What we're doing is the debt relief that you mentioned at the top, which is it's valuable. It looks like $14 billion of cash flow savings in this year, and China puts in quite a bit of that because they're 60% of that cash flow, and so we need to commend them for participating in the effort. We had spring meetings last week, which included the G7, the G20, the IMF, the World Bank's Development Committee meeting, and everyone's engaged in this effort to allow the moratorium on the debt repayment. But then I think we need to also move very quickly on the health emergency. The World Bank has done 100 programs now just since mid-March, and so this is a big achievement. It joins. I launched the debt relief initiative on March 23rd, so people moved fast, and that's what's happening on these health emergency programs. And we also need it on social safety net. That's the money that can go directly to poor people.
Well, you certainly have had great success with this, having launched it just a couple of weeks ago, David. Congratulations. I mean, on Friday, the World Bank pledged nearly $133 million in pandemic bonds, which will be distributed to some of the poorest nations impacted by the coronavirus pandemic. Critics, though, are questioning whether the funding is too late. What else can be done? We are obviously knee-deep into it, and people are feeling it right on the ground.
That's right. That was a program set up in 2016 and 2017 where so the private sector is putting money into a trust fund which is run by the World Bank. That was triggered last week. So that will help address some of the pandemic crisis, but it was a complicated financial engineering. So what we're trying to do go forward is have more straightforward funding opportunities or activities for the pandemic and for healthcare and also for vaccines. I met last week with an alliance of vaccine people, including President Macron from France, and the Bill Gates Foundation was involved, and others that can put together efforts to try to get a vaccine. So there's activity on a bunch of fronts, and the goal is to have fast action. You know, one of the problems in multilateralism or globalism is people spend a lot of time in conferences and don't get enough done on the ground. So what we're trying to do in the World Bank is get people close to the client. That means poor countries. And so we're doing a lot of our activity through country directors, and that works faster. That means that you're tailoring the program to the people that actually need it.
That makes a lot of sense, David. We'll be watching and certainly checking in on your developments. David, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much.
Good to see you, Marie.
David Malpass is the president at the World Bank. Coming up.